Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 TS Hub season number 12. This is the Pinnacle tier and round 4 takes us to Azerbaijan and the Baku city street circuit. My name is Kieran McGinley and joining me in the commentary box is John Worth. Jono, how are you this evening?
I'm very good, thank you. Looking forward to the race and I'm sure an exciting qualifying session through these tight and twisty streets of Baku.
Absolutely. Before we get started though, we'll have a look at the driver standings. Reflow is top of the table on 68 points. Samster is in second place. He is on 58 points. Matt in third with 33 points. Hesketime in fourth with 25. Bothy Dweller is in fifth there, sorry, with 21 points. Farth with sixth on 21 as well. Chopper in seventh on 18. White Fountain in eighth on 18. Lawrence in ninth with 10 points. Scorpion is in 10th place on 8 points. Feature drivers from then on go Tony in 11th on 6 points. Lukey is in 13th on 4 points. Jaw in 16th with 1 point. Pepsi Gamer in 19th, yet to score a point this season. And Jono, you've obviously won here before, all the way back in season number 8 here on these tight city streets of Baku. Just talk to us about how tough it is out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a race and a draw, it's for sure. A lot of drivers talking about the amount of concentration needed to make it to the end in one piece, and that is what it's all about. I'm sure the drivers that managed to keep it out the walls tonight will be getting some good points.
Yeah, absolutely. As well, Odems has obviously been at his usual ways with the press conference. This time he called Pepsi Gamer to the press. Let's see if we can get on board with Pepsi Gamer then. There he is. And the question that was asked of him, 0 points in the standings, a trip to the stewards. When are you going to stop filling up the numbers and actually contribute to the championship? And Pepsi Gamer responded, obviously it hasn't been the best of starts. I found myself in good positions, but I need to improve on consistency. Tiny little mistakes like putting the throttle on too early or braking too late are what's leaving me with 0 points so far. But if I stop making those mistakes, I think I have good pace to pick up a decent set of points over the next few races. Obviously with 3 races gone, Jono, 0 points for Pepsi. Just how much does it play on your mind with 0 points to your name?
Yeah, it'll definitely be playing on his mind by now. I think his response was pretty good, pretty mature, to be honest. We've seen he's got decent pace, and we mentioned last time out that he hasn't quite managed to deliver on that yet and get the result. But it will come. He has got the speed to figure in this championship, and he's just got to hook it together in the race. But this isn't the ideal track you want to be coming to when you're looking to get your first finish.
Absolutely. Odems has also picked up 2 drivers to watch today here at Baku. One of them is Samster. Can he consistently stick it to reflow, as Odems put it? The other driver is Bothy Dweller, who is in this lobby here. And what was said about him, Dweller's pace is being undermined by his internet. If that manages to hold up, expect a good result from the Scotsman. So yeah, keep our eye on Bothy Dweller then. He does lie 5th place in the championship, even with his internet connection troubles. But you must have been in a similar situation like that, Jono, where internet plagues you from getting good results. Just how frustrating can that be?
It's got to be frustrating for him, particularly as he looks like he's actually got the pace to figure right near the front of the field in these races. As you say, he's still 5th in the championship, despite the issues. So he'll be really hoping perhaps he's managed to work some magic on the internet connection in the week and that things will hold up for him today.
Yeah, absolutely, and what better place to do that than on a very tough circuit as we come through to that infamous Turn 8 castle section. It's caught many people out over the seasons. Cloudy Balloons then is the first person to set a lap time with a 1:39.2, and CSS goes almost 1 second quicker on the same set of tyres with a 1:38.2. Cloudy Balloons then, interestingly, last season in the Pinnacle tier, won his first ever race in F1 TS Hub, so looking on form then, should be seeing if he can get a good result today then, Jono.
Yeah, he should. He was knocking on the door of a win a lot last season, managed to get it here obviously. So I mean, yeah, he's absolutely proven that he's got the speed and the pace here, and his first lap 4 tenths off puts him in 4th, but I'm sure he will be looking to have a good race.
White Fountain has also set a lap time 1:38.6. And White Fountain, when he was asked in the pre-race interview that this race usually throws up a surprise with the longest straight in the calendar, do you think perhaps it's a great opportunity for you to do well, or perhaps it's a disadvantage? And White Fountain replied, the walls are always so close here that even when you are the fastest on track, your race might be over in a split second. Always he seems to be slow on the straights, but not really sure until he gets into it. So we'll have to keep an eye on White Fountain. He lies provisionally second at the moment in qualifying, and we'll have to keep an eye on him as he goes around the track. Then at the moment, though, it is an Alfa Romeo. Oh,
yeah, sorry, Pepsi Gamer's ended it on the exit of turn 1. He continues, but wing damage, and he was completely sideways and into the wall. So he did. He's the first that we've seen so far to bring out the yellow flags and to make contact with these horrible concrete barriers.
Yeah, well, it's bottom left corner there. Luke, he got himself a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Pepsi Gamer. So the game has given that to him. So, well, whatever he qualifies on, 5 places down he'll be now. So even if he qualifies in the top 10, it means he start outside of the top 10 if he's far down enough. But it means, though, even if he... Go Tony retires from the session. Even if he does qualify in the top 10 but has to start outside of it, he has to start on the tyres he used in that qualifying session. So a bit of a detriment to Lukey here. So he's got to just make sure he can get the fastest lap possible down.
Yeah, not ideal at all, as I just see a Williams smash into the wall, and there's a fourth India in the wall that he's just going by as well. And I've seen Chopper hit the wall as well, so a lot of drivers already coming into big difficulties, and Chopper returns to the pits. He needs a new front wing.
Oh, and I missed every single bit of action there as I was trying to find the cars there, but hopefully it doesn't happen too much in the race then. Matt, your daddy then, has currently set 138.5 on a set of super soft tyres. Now, Jono, you know tyre strategy is all important here. It's how it won you the race in Season 8. Is this a shock then to see Matt, your daddy, so far up the table on a set of super soft tyres?
Yeah, it's early days, obviously, but yeah, obviously thinks that might be the way to go with the tyre strategy, picking the more durable, super soft. We've seen it seems to work pretty well at the previous 3 rounds this season, going for that strategy. So wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a few drivers trying to do that again today.
Yeah, as Jaw slowly makes his way back to the pits, he's out of fuel, so at the moment he's limited to 92 kph on possibly the fastest part of the track, so that can't be too good. But the yellow flags are out to warn the other drivers. I'm not sure how effective that's going to be, but he'll make it through this section, and it's pretty much a straight from here. There we go, so relatively safe now. He currently is in P6 there on a 139.0. So we'll have to keep an eye on all of those. At the moment then, CSS is on provisional pole position. He is currently on a set of super soft tyres. He did set his best lap on a set of ultra soft, so maybe that was just a banker lap. Maybe there's more time to find. But it seems odd though, going first on the ultra soft tyres, then onto the super soft. Surely, Jono, it should have been the other way around.
Yeah, you would think it should be the other way around, but maybe he's had a change of heart there on the tyres, and has yeah, done the opposite to what we normally expect. Interesting, we're less than 10 minutes left in the session, and only 11 times currently on the board as well.
Absolutely. Reflow, Samster, both championship rivals, as well as Matt, who was finished 3rd last time out, all still in the pits then, as Heskey time is on his outlap then, as he winds up out of one of the final corners here into this S section. And it's very difficult here. That wall, especially on the left-hand side there, as you come through that right-hander, is very, very close. It's a lot closer than it looks, that's for sure, in one of these cars. But Heskey time here will come across the line to start his flying lap.
That corner you mentioned, and any accident you have there is going to be a big one because of a huge speed we're carrying through the corner. But Heskey time looks like he's got the braking pretty good there for turn 1. Huge braking point as well. There's so much time to be gained and lost. You have to absolutely attack the corner as fast as you can.
Absolutely, and 26 laps between us and the checkered flag once the 5 lights go out. And it'll be interesting to see. Oh, was Heskey time just about kept it out of the wall there. That was that was a bit close for comfort there for Heskey, but he's going on with it as we head now towards the turn 6 now, turns 5 and 6 chicane, now going towards turn 7. Turn 7, not really an overtaking opportunity, so we head now into the braking zone. A little bit of a lock-up there from Heskey time. Keep it out of the walls onto the narrowest part of the track here, in towards turn 8. Chuck the car in. Oh, he's clipped the wall there on the right-hand side, has Heskey time. And has he got that front wing damage on the right-hand side? He'll be very lucky if he hasn't. And you know what? I don't think he has. I think he's got away with that. That's incredible. I think he can count his lucky stars there as he heads now down towards turn 15.
Yeah, he's very lucky there, I think, and we'll see if he continues. I guess it's a bank lap. We've seen a few errors though, and outbraked himself quite a lot there to turn 16 as well, which will affect his speed now all the way through until the start finish line. So far from ideal lap from Heskey time. We'll see if he decides to complete or if he bails and enters the pits. And he's hugging the left hand side, so it looks like he's going to box and try again.
Oh, CSS has got it completely wrong here. That just sort of reminds me of an Austin Powers moment there, but that's on the exit of turn 2 there, just before that second DRS zone. So obviously CSS on a flying lap, and well, it's all gone now as he has to make his way back to the pits then. Lap abandoned.
Yeah, lap abandoned, but he does have that provisional pole still, so not the end of the world, as we've got a yellow flag now in sector 2, and that's cleared quickly.
Yeah, it might just be cars just getting out of the way here as White Fountain makes his way around the technically final corner of turn 20 as we now head through to the DRS zone. Now you'll see this top speed rise and rise and rise, and White Fountain there 138.1 then, fastest lap of qualifying so far on a set of ultra soft tyres. You can see then most of the drivers outside of the top 10 as Chopper goes P3 with a 138.2, unaffected then by any mistakes that lap, so good lap from him then, puts him onto the second row. As you can see, Cobblers at the moment 139.3 on a set of super softs. You've got Reflow who's just out on an out lap, Heskey time in the pits, Pip's Gamer in the pits, Samster and Matt in the Ferraris both on an out lap, Farth in still in the pits, all on super soft tyres, so they're obviously playing the long game. Are they willing to sacrifice qualifying for what might be a crazy race?
Yeah, it does look like they are thinking of doing that for sure, and it looks like it's difficult to get a lap time in as well. We're seeing still only 13 laps on the board, and a real mixed up grid at the moment. White Fountain, obviously provisional pole, but yeah, will that super soft prove to be the way to go when it comes to the race? I think it may well be the case.
Well, this is the interesting thing. We're looking then for a dry race, because there's no reason to go out on a set of super softs if you're not going to be able to use them in the race. So looks like it's going to be at least a dry start. That's what most of the drivers are thinking then. Yeah,
definitely. I think that's probably going to be the way. It's going to be a bit overcast in this qualifying session as well, which will be a bit distracting for the drivers. Obviously not ideal when they try to absolutely attack and sub-optimal conditions. And we've seen quality drivers struggle, and we're definitely going to see a lot of changes in the final 5 minutes.
Absolutely. We just saw Farth there as we were riding on board with TK get it wrong in turn 9 there, or 9 and 10, lost a bit of his front wing, so the odd place on the circuit to lose a bit of front wing, but it's happened. So Farth there with only 4 minutes to go finds himself with half a front wing. So that's not going to help him at all then, as Reflow here heading towards turn 3. We're riding on board with him then as he heads towards this braking zone of turn 4. Watch out for that curb on the inside as we make our way now towards 5 and 6. Use that bit of white line. You can put 2 across it absolutely fine as we head through 5 and 6. Watch that curb on the exit. Very easy to get wheel spin as we now head towards turn 7. Not really an overtaking point. Brake just before the 50-metre board there, as we've got Cobblers there trying to get well out of the way as we head towards turn 8. Clips the wall slightly there, Reflow. Won't have done a bit of damage there as Samster goes top, 137.9. First driver into the 137s. We see Reflow there. We can't take too much of that outside curve then as we head through. Full throttle now as we head through 13 and 14. Now coming down the hill towards turn 15. Very easy to lock the brakes. Clips that curve on the inside there. That can send the car off the track if you're not careful as we now head down the hill towards turn 16. Get this exit right. Don't be too greedy with a curve there on the outside as we now head through 17 and then chucking the car in 18 and 19. Want to be full throttle through here. Absolutely not backing down as we go through now the slight kink of 20 all the way down the straight, and all that's left to do is try and keep the car as straight as possible and as far to the left hand side as possible as Reflow here comes towards the line. Can he get provisional pole position? Yes he can. It's a 137.2 from Reflow. Great lap from him on the super soft tyres.
Yeah, incredible lap by Reflow there. He's absolutely put the marker down. Pretty incredible lap. I am seeing in the chat as well that Pepsi has got a 5-place grid drop as well, by the sound of it. He span apparently and hit Lukey, and both drivers will see the grid penalties.
So that will be added to their finishing positions in qualifying. At the moment then, Lukey is in P11, and Pepsi Gamer hasn't set a lap time just yet, so it'll be interesting to see then where they will eventually finish up after qualifying. Then Reflow currently tops the table though, and as we see on the gap then, 0.6 of a second separates pole position from second place. That's a huge gap there, Jono.
Yeah, that is a real buffer, isn't it? And it's going to take some lap, I think, for anybody to match that. His teammate, though, completely the opposite end of the field at the moment in 19th. And he's chosen the ultra soft route as well, so he's gone for the different tyre strategy.
Oh, he's gone!
Binned it.
He's binned it into turn 8 on that inside wall, and becomes the first casualty of the castle section. Farth then will not set a time in qualifying at all, and it's lucky that his car has ghosted then, so other laps can continue on unaffected. But we could potentially see a Mercedes at the front and a Mercedes at the back.
Yeah, we could. You don't see that very often, do you? It's gone terribly there for Farth, who will be bringing up the rear of the field by the look of it, as his teammate enters the pits, and we're into the just a minute and a half of the session left.
Absolutely. Well, we see CSS here topping the table for a brief moment in qualifying as he now heads towards the line. He'll open up that DRS as soon as he possibly can, and now heading down this long straight. You've got to be careful with that ERS deployment then. How will CSS do then? He goes P4, he shaves a 10th off, and puts himself, P3 that is, puts himself onto the second row of the grid. So Reflow and Samstar are back in the pit, so they're not going to be able to set another lap time. We've got multiple drivers on a lap here. We've got TK on an out lap, Matt Yadadi on an out lap, Scorpion also on an out lap. We've got Lukey, Lawrence, Jaw, they're all on out laps here. As Boffy Dweller, meanwhile, is hoping his internet will stay stable for this race at least, as we now head through that high-speed S section. He almost lost a car on the curb there. Maybe that was a little bit of a lag there, but Boffy Dweller then coming towards the line, and we'll see what he can do then. Boffy Dweller heading towards the line. It's a 1:39.0 and puts himself into P13 for now. Pepsi Gamer on a flying lap as he now heads towards turns 5 and 6, as that was a Red Bull getting well out of the way there. So only a couple of cars left then. TK clips the wall there on the outside of turn 1, and he instantly backs out of it. So TK then will do no better than 7th place. Matt Yadadi then coming down this back straight here, you could almost call it, or into the entrance of turn 3, and we come towards the right hander of turn 4. Matt Yadadi then on a set of super soft tyres for now, and now coming towards 5 and 6. And Matt Yodaddy get better than what he currently has. Sorry, he's on the ultra soft tyres. I'm looking at his best lap time, which was on a set of super soft, so he could be seeing a big improvement here from Matt Yodaddy. That's a Red Bull facing the wrong way.
Yeah, Cloudy Balloons has lost it, so 16th to him as things stand. So race winner last season, not gone well for him at all.
No, absolutely not. Well, Pepsi Gamer still has to set a lap time, even with his 5-place grid penalty. Let's see what he can do then. Riding on board with the McLaren driver as he heads towards the start-finish line. What can he do? Can he get himself up the table? It's P16. So he will be starting from the back of the grid there, Pepsi Gamer, which is unfortunate for him. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Cloudy Balloons there retiring from the session. We've got Scorpion here currently inside the top 10 as he now heads down the hill now towards turn 15. Turn 16 this is. Turn 15 was earlier on. And he might get a little bit of tow here from the car ahead, I wonder, as he now heads through this high-speed S section. Making his way through now. And that's a car. Lost it completely. That's a Renault in the middle of the track. So I don't know whether that was Matt Yadadi or Lukey there, but either way, both drivers had to take avoiding action there. But we'll see Scorpion now come across the line, and even with that car stranded in the middle of the track there, Scorpion has just pipped his teammate there and goes P6. So good lap from him then. TK had to abandon his lap. He comes across the line to take the checkered flag, and with that then every single driver has completed qualifying. So your driver on pole position for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Reflow takes it again from Lawrence, and White Fountain, Samster, is outside of the top 3 going into the race then. Matt, who's 3rd in the championship, is going to start 8th. So, Jono, we've got a very interesting Baku Grand Prix ahead of us.
Yeah, we've got a real mixed-up grid. We've got quite different from what we've seen at the previous 3 rounds. And we said it would deliver. We knew there'd be incidents and some good laps in between, and there certainly was. But you have to say that Reflow there, you know, obviously got beaten by Sam last time out, but great way to bounce back in qualifying.
Absolutely. We'll just quickly run through the qualifying standings for you then. So Reflow takes pole position, then Lawrence behind, half a second behind in P2, White Fountain P3, Samster 4th, CSS 5th, Scorpion 6th, Chopper in 7th, Matt in 8th, Bothy Dweller 9th, TK 10th, Matt Your Daddy 11th, Go Tony 12th, Lukey 13th, but he'll take a 5-place grid penalty, Cobblers 14th, Jaw 15th, Pepsi Gamer 16th, who will take a 5-place grid penalty, Cali Balloon 17th, Hesky Time 18th, and Farth did not set a time in that session, binning it at the castle section. So let's have your predictions in the chat then. Who's going to win this Azerbaijan Grand Prix? And well, with Reflow on pole position, Jono, it's very hard not to give him the predicted race win anyway.
Yeah, I guess it is. We know he's consistent as well. We know he won't overdrive the car, but mistakes can happen here to absolutely anybody. A long race, and I think it's going to be tougher than most to predict your podium here.
Absolutely, but please do have a prediction in the chat there. Who do you think will come out on top as we head towards the race then? Cloudy, Anthony in the chat then says Cloudy needs to work a miracle to match his win last season. Yes, he can, but this is also the Azerbaijan Grand Prix where contact and the castle section can claim victims as well as a potential safety car as well. So rule no one out. People from last can find their way leading the race at one point. That's the beauty of Azerbaijan, and Jono, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, absolutely looking forward to this one. It's going to be super exciting. And yeah, we haven't mentioned safety car till now, but it can have a huge impact here. We said about Reflow, perhaps if he gets away, he can run away with it. But safety car restarts here with this long straight and slipstream are not easy at all. So he'll have his heart in his mouth every time he sees a yellow flag or a car on the wall.
Absolutely. Well, Reflow then trying to warm up those tyres. Remember, he's going to be starting on a set of super soft tyres, so that was an incredible lap from him on those tyres. Lawrence and White Fountain there on ultra softs. Of course, the top 10 then will be starting the race on the tyres they set their fastest lap on in qualifying. So let's have a look outside the top 10 then. Matt Your Daddy 11th there. He's going to start on some soft tyres, hoping to go long into his first stint. Go Tony in 12th on super softs. Cobblers and Jaw also with him on super soft. Cloudy Balloons, last time out, race winner, starting from P15. He will be starting on the soft tyres. His teammate right behind him also on the soft tyres, so Red Bull thinking the same strategy here. Farth, currently P17, didn't set a lap time in qualifying, will be starting on a set of super soft tyres. Lukey, with that grid penalty, starts ahead of Pepsi Gamer, who are both starting on a set of super soft tyres.
We have got a really exciting grid here. You're looking at Pepsi Gamer, Cloudy Balloons, Hesky and Fast there, bringing up the rear. But we've seen them battling for the top positions in the previous races, so they are going to be looking to move forward. And super exciting. And Matt Your Daddy looking pretty strong, I think, in 11th and on the soft tyre. If he can keep out of trouble and try and keep with those ultra soft runners for as long as he can, I think he will be in a good position come the end of the race.
Absolutely. 26 laps separate us from the checkered flag, from lights out, and Reflow will want to be heading into turn 1, building that gap to the cars behind. Samster is down there in P4 and Matt is in P8, so it's going to be a tough race for the Ferraris then, as it seems. But well, we'll have to wait and see what goes on and what happens then, as we now have all of the drivers take AI control, I believe this is now, as we head towards the grid then. Jono, who's your prediction for race winner?
If Reflow can get through the first couple of corners still in the lead, I think it's difficult to look past him. I think Sam has got good race pace, but he's got those ultra soft runners ahead of him to contend with if he wants to take the fight to Reflow.
Well, here we are then, coming onto the grid here for round number 4 of the F1 TSR Pinnacle tier, season number 12. We're waiting now for those 5 red lights and what should be a fantastic Grand Prix. Any moment now, those lights will start to come on. And let's have a look then. Let's get all of the details up and all the stats then that we need. We've got the green flag given there, and any moment now we should see the red lights come on. Here they come. We're ready then for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. 5 red lights. Round 4 is underway, and what are the start side? Well, Lawrence has been disqualified for reversing on the grid then as we head towards turn 1. That's a great start from Samster then. He's on the outside, but we've got a Haas going around there. That is TK who's lost it there going into turn 1. That's the 2. Alfa Romeo Sauers, it's carnage going into turn 2. Absolute carnage. There's a Red Bull around. There's a Renault into the wall as well. That is Cloudy Balloons, and what a change of fortunes a season can make. Cloudy Balloons facing the wrong way as Farth picks himself up a 5-second time penalty there, or a 5-second stop go I should say. Absolute carnage there. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but it's benefited Farth here, who's now up to P9.
Wow, look at Farth. I think we've seen this from him before as well, just leaping up the field early in the race. And Sam up second momentarily, but then got caught in a melee of cars along with his teammate as well. Both continued. I'm not sure if we got wing damage, but Sam already makes it up to P3 now. He's dispatched a white fountain as he goes through the counter section, and his race, can he build it from here now? And if he hasn't got wing damage, he could still be set to challenge replay.
Yeah, TK here, who was caught up in the he's caught up at turn 1 actually, spun the car around. He currently finds himself in P15 as we've got Bothy Dwellers out of the race. Bothy Dweller, let's run on board with TK and see what happens here then. And he's got into the wall on the left-hand side. Well, that's a bizarre place to lose it on your own there as we head now down towards turn 15. And Cloudy Balloons is out now. Cloudy Balloons, last season's race winner, out of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We've lost 3 drivers, Jono, in 1 lap.
That is a crazy first lap, and TK...
Oh, wait, that 4! Scorpion's gone as well. And Scorpion's binned it on the left-hand side. He must not have had the front wing to get him around the corner. So that's 4 drivers then out of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in the very first lap. And I'm wondering how many cars we're going to get into the pits here. We've got 1, 2. Here comes 3 and 4. We've got Cobblers here. Is he going to try and come into the pits? Yes, he is. So... And Go Tony picks up a 5-second stop go for speeding in the pit lane, which just adds to the misery there. Matt Your Daddy on a set of soft tyres, by the way, up to P6. He's just made a move on Farth there, going down the long straight, going towards turn 3 here. And he's still got the inside line then, and makes the move then. Matt Your Daddy on soft tyres, up to P6.
Yeah, amazing. We were saying before they started, if he can keep out of trouble on those softs, the race could come to it. Well, he's made amazing progress. Him on Farth, 6th and 7th at the end of lap 1, would not expect that at all. But already, as you say, 4 retirements, and we had 4 people in the pits at the end of lap 1, so it's going to be a long race for them.
Oh, that's CS! CSS is out, he lost it! Going through
no.
turn 9 and 10! He's hit the wall, and Samster did well to avoid him there, but CSS is out of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. He crashed out from 2nd place. Now what that does is it promotes Samster up to 2nd place, and he'll get a bit of clear air, but Reflow here has just kept his head down, kept his cool. He now finds himself 5.6 ahead.
Yeah, just ideal start. It just all unfolded behind him as he just cruised through turn 1, and 5.6 seconds at the end of 2 laps is pretty crazy. We've just had complete chaos here. We have to mention Lawrence as well. What happened with him going backwards and getting disqualified off the grid?
Yeah, absolutely. That might have been some sort of netcode issue, but here comes Pepsi Gamer, who's qualified or with his ban. Oh, Code Tony's out as well. Go Tony, well, we're riding on board with Pepsi Gamer. I'm having to watch 2 things at once here. But at the moment then, the Renault driver of Pepsi, the McLaren driver I should say, of Pepsi Gamer tried to make a move on Jaw down the inside into turn 1, couldn't quite make it though, and Jaw has managed to hold on. Pepsi Gamer looking to try and prioritise his exit here, but Matt Your Daddy, this is playing really good advantage to him. He's on the soft tyres, currently running in 5th place, and he'll just be watching this battle with bated breath here as Pepsi Gamer in the McLaren locks up going into turn 3. That's going to provide an advantage here for Jaw, who might try and get him on the switchback then. We've lost another driver. Cobblers is out of the race.
Oh my god, it's going to be, anyone who finishes is going to be in the points. as these battling hard. Pepsi Gamer, Jaw, All and Chopper as well, closing up onto these. We've got 4 cars now, all battling for position. You've got to say, this is going to end in tears.
Well, Matt, your daddy, has taken full advantage of this battling now. He's up to P4. He's got past Pepsi Gamer there through turn 7. And, well, he's having the race of his life at the moment here. He could be in the podium positions on soft tyres before you know it.
Yeah, Matt, your daddy, I have to say, he's moved himself into a position where he could possibly even be on for a win. I know we've got a long, long way to go, but he's set absolutely great. He's obviously closing up onto the back of Jaw now. Kind of dispatch of him as well, as he's got the straight line speed. He's neat and tidy where he needs to be through turn 16, so if he can keep in the slipstream now to turns 17, 18 and 19, he does have to take a big confidence lift there, and we have got a bit squirrely, so he's a little way back, but we know DRS and slipstream are really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. As Pepsi Game is just about to find out, then he's going to try and go down the inside of Matt Your Daddy, going in towards turn 1, and it looks like he's got the move done before the braking zone though. But Matt Your Daddy's going to go round the outside to try and defend that position. Great defending from Matt Your Daddy in the Renault then, and he's defended the position really well. Pepsi Gamer trying to go up the inside, and there's contact there, a bit of front wing gone everywhere as Pepsi Gamer tried to be a bit too desperate. He's now had to let Matt Your Daddy back through, but who got the damage there, Jono? I'm not quite sure who got that damage.
I believe it was, I think it was Chopper, I think it was the Toro Rosso, but I'm not 100%. But these guys battling so hard. Pepsi Gamer chucking it down the inside. I don't think the move was quite on, and obviously he's now fallen to the back of that trio of cars. TK also eyeing up these guys. But after seeing how many DNFs there's been, you'd think they might just have a little bit of caution in the back of their minds, knowing it's a long way to go, and they're set well at the moment, 5th through to 7th.
Absolutely. Well, good battling going on here, and as you were saying, it could turn into, if you keep it out of the walls and finish the race, you've got a good chance of points then as we head through that infamous turn 8 section out of there towards turn 13. And at the moment, Reflow leads the way from Samster and Jaw, but Matt Your Daddy has fallen 2.2 seconds behind there as he makes his way through turn 15. You've got Chopper there in P5, Pepsi Gamer P6, starting from well at the back of the grid there, so it's been a good race so far for him. TK in 7th there, Hesky Time in 8th, White Fountain 9th. Matt there finds himself down in 10th place. Now he had to pit very early on to repair damage, so the Ferrari driver down in P10, but even if you have a bad race here, you still have a good chance of scoring some vital points that might come into play at the end of the season.
Yeah, and he's in P10 now, but he's on obviously the soft, so the hardest compound of tyre. He'll go a long way now on those, and I think he can make
contact!
his way,
Sorry, Jono. Contact out of turn 1. Matt Your Daddy and SFR Chopper come together on the exit there, and it looked like Chopper tried to squeeze Matt Your Daddy out, but there was nowhere for Matt to go, and he's clipped the rear tyre of Chopper then, and Chopper goes straight into the wall. He's left the session as well, but front wing damage to Matt Your Daddy then. It just looked like that Chopper tries to close the gap then, and there was nowhere for Matt to go.
I just said it was looking like it might end in disaster, and it has for Chopper. Yeah, Matt Your Daddy continues, but I think you say he's got wing damage, so far from ideal for him as well. He'd been looking to go a long way on those tyres, probably won't be able to make that work now.
Absolutely. Well, he'll keep going around as a ghost car in case he wants to join back, but I don't think that's going to be very likely. What that's going to do, though, is promote White Fountain and Matt up a position here, and in that Ferrari then, Matt's looking like he's going to try and redeem this race, though. We've had so many retirements, though, Jono, and still no safety car. What have we got to do to get one around here?
Oh, absolutely. It seems like the safety car is not wanting to come out at all today. Perhaps the driver's having a bit of a snooze or something. But we knew it'd be a race of attrition, but I didn't think we'd be down to 12 runners this early on. So let's hope these boys can keep it on the circuit and manage to get to the end, as Matt Your Daddy looks to be struggling quite a bit now since that incident. And he's just hit the wheel really hard, and he's lost the wheel, and he's out.
And just like that, someone who could have been on for a good result today, Matt Your Daddy retires from the race, trying to carry too much speed going through there. And at the moment then, Jono, we're down to 10 drivers. We're 6 laps in.
It's just absolute craziness. We have wing damage, Matt Your Daddy. I'm surprised he tried to take quite so much speed through turn 19, but he did, and he's paid the price.
Absolutely, just trying to push too hard, and that's what's going to happen. That's going to do it. So, well, the field is pretty evenly spread out at the moment, and we're seeing Reflow then negotiate that castle section once again, and Reflow then leading the way. Samster is in second place, 6.5 seconds back. Jaw is 14 seconds back from Samster, so it just shows how much pace those two have at the moment, and it's also why Odems has ranked them as the 3rd and 4th hottest drivers in F1 Tiers Hub right now.
Yeah, it shows that Odems knows what he's talking about with his hot and cold. But Jaw obviously not got the pace of Sam and Reflow at the moment, but he's in P3 and he's got nearly a 4-second buffer to Pepsi Gamer. So key thing for Jaw now is just drive carefully, keep it out the walls. He would never have expected to be this high up 12 positions from his starting position. So having a great race all the same, and he's in clear air as well, so he can just drive to his pace hopefully now. And who knows, he could finish somewhere near the podium if he keeps this up.
Yeah, absolutely then. Well, lap 7 of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix then, and Reflow finds himself still leading the race though. What this does though, with only 10 runners in the race at the moment, Matt FNG though, who was caught up in the first lap instance, finds himself P8 now, and can just try and keep his head down and get himself a couple of points on the board. TK meanwhile takes a trip to the pits, and I think this is our first scheduled stop of the race.
Yeah, I think it is. So lap 7, he comes in, he's had enough of those ultra softs, so he's going to bolt on a set of the softs by the look of it. So he'll rejoin the fresh rubber now, and hopefully he'll rejoin to some clear track, and he certainly has. So the half continues.
Yeah, and that looks like, Jono, it's going to be a one-stop. Would those tyres make it to the end?
I think that's what he'll be hoping for at the moment, that's for sure. We'll see what others decide to do, but I think that will be his aim. It's interesting as well, all the DNFs we've had, that we have still got both Mercedes and both Ferraris. So the two constructors leaders at the moment are in this race. They haven't been avoiding contact either, but they have managed to keep the cars running.
Yeah, absolutely, especially Reflow and Samster just able to charge away at the front there as White Fountain takes a very wide exit there out of turn 12, and now going through 13 and 14 all the way down to the braking zone of turn 15. You can see the debris scattered all over the track there still, as we have a little bit of front wing there. Now I'm not sure if that was from before or from the Red Bull in front of Heskey time. Either way though,
the Red Bull.
Oh, it was from the Red Bull, so he's got to be careful now. He's on the soft tyres with less aero. He's got to be careful as he goes through this S section. And I think he does lift off. He did lift off there. And you can see he's just easy prey for White Fountain. As we go down the straight then, I wonder if Heskey Time is going to try and come into the pits. And he stays to the left-hand side. And yes, that does look like he's coming into the pits. So not able to run with that front wing. And this is what it's going to become now. Just keep it out of the walls and you've got a good chance of finishing with a good set of points behind you.
Yeah, he did the right thing, didn't he? He picked up the wing damage, but he lifted to that turn 19, which is what you've got to do, and he's bailed, and yeah, he's just taken the pain, but he's still in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Matt here, Matt FNG, is closing in on White Fountain, and well, at the moment, as you were saying, the only constructors with 2 running cars at the moment are Mercedes and Ferrari, so that's going to help them with their points. But I think they'll just be saying over the radio now, just take it easy out there, take what you can get. But round 4 in a drivers' championship, that's not up to debate for the drivers. They want to push as hard as they can. Yeah,
they want to push absolutely as hard as they possibly can. Yeah, let's just say that only constructors with 2 cars running. It's looking really good for Toro Rosso as well after qualifying, but all went wrong, horribly wrong for them as it has for many others.
Absolutely. Well, we're still running aboard then with Matt FNG as he makes his way down towards turn 15, very close to that right-hand side wall on the entry, but really maximising the amount of track he's got then. Lap 9 of this Grand Prix. Reflow still leads the way from Samster and Jaw. That is your top 3 so far. And I wonder here if Matt is going to have a chance to get past White Fountain here. Remember, he did have to stop very early on in this race to repair some damage, so he may have to stop again. So he's going to try and go around the outside of White Fountain, go for the side that has less of a gap. Why not? And puts himself up to P5 then as we head down towards turn 1. And I don't think White Fountain's going to try and move into turn 1. No, he's not. So Matt FNG then moves up to P5.
He does. So P2 and P5 for Ferrari, and Matt continues his fight back, and P5, lap 9. I think he'll be pretty pleased with that after what happened. And looks like White Fountain is getting a bit of slipstream. He'll try and hang on, but I think we'll be getting to the transition where those soft tyres, particularly Matt's being after the pit falling fresh, they will have more grip now than the super soft on White Fountain's car behind.
Now Chopper has joined back, so he will be taking control of that ghost car once again, but that won't be for another while just yet. So we are now back up to 11 runners, so that's always good to see. What I was going to say was Pepsi Gamer running in P4 at the moment, hasn't scored a single point this season. Odem's ripped into him for that one in the press conference, but all he's got to do is keep it on the track, and surely he'll be bringing home at the moment 12 points.
Yeah, easier said than done, but yeah, qualifying definitely didn't go well for him at all. But he's, as you say, he's in P4. We know from his interviews that he is determined to try and bring it home today. So let's see if he can manage it. And yeah, P4 at the moment, so all looking good.
We've got the I-flags in Sector 3, but I'm not entirely sure who it is, as apparently Chopper's taken the lead of the race. Wow, that's bizarre.
Yeah. But it's gone a bit weird. I think I lost all the timings on my screen as well at that moment. So something a bit odd with the timings.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's still saying that Chopper's in the lead, so he's... well, this is bizarre. It does add some spice to the to the competition, that's for sure. Reflow will suddenly find himself down into P2, so... well, bizarre then. We'll see if that updates itself. At the moment then, it looks like what may have happened was Chopper left the session, and sometimes the game, and it's a virtual safety car as Matt's retired. Matt's out of the race. I wonder if that's the castle section that's got him. No, it's not. It's on the exit of turn 3 there. The car's just stranded without a front tyre. Virtual safety car deployed, and we might get a chance to catch our breath here. Yep, into the wall there as TK goes past. So now it's only Mercedes with 2 cars now, and well... This is a bizarre race from start to finish. We still have 17 laps to go, Jono.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if we jump in now, we can pick up a point or two. But yeah, Chopper's gone from spending all those laps as a ghost car to now somehow magically leading the race. And yeah, the virtual safety car for Matt, who's lost it, as you say, turn 3, obviously in the wall on the right-hand side. You don't see that many guys losing it there. I mean, you can lose it anywhere here, as we've already seen, but not one of the most common places to bin it. But yeah, it's come back, ended swiftly, and so yeah, Sam now the remaining Ferrari driver, and Sam in the pits by the look of it as well. So he's having that damaged front wing from earlier replaced, and taking advantage of that, and he joins, and it looks like he's on the softs.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Chopper, Reflow and Samster all took advantage of the virtual safety car to try and minimise the time lost in the pits. That's why Samster came in to replace his front wing. So he rejoins in P3, Reflow P2, and Chopper leads the race, although I'm not quite sure how valid that is at the moment. But we'll have to wait and see what goes on then. Chopper currently leads though, so we'll go by what we've got in front of us. A truly bizarre race. A virtual safety car at last, but well... Lap 11 then, Chopper leads.
He does indeed. I'm not sure that's going to stand come at the end of the race, but he does lead at the moment, and it will be interesting to see just how hard he fights if Reflow manages to catch up to the back of him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, well, definitely bizarre, but Reflow's making inroads to try and catch him at the moment. 18.6 is the gap, so I think what's happened is the game has sort of had a little bit of a glitch, and if you rejoin a session there's a small chance it either takes a lap away from you or adds a lap on. So I think that's what's happened there. Chopper's been minused a lap, if you like. So he currently leads the way. That's why he's got an 18.6 second gap, although I'm not entirely sure, but that would be my best guess.
Yeah, I think that sounds like it makes the most sense, as most sense as it can make. So we'll keep an eye on the gap, see if Reflow can bring it down, and we'll see how Sam manages now. Both of these guys obviously on the softs now. So, you know, Sam's got a 5 or 6 second gap there to try and bring down if he possibly wants to go for the race win.
Lap 12 of this Grand Prix then, and Chopper has extended that gap at the top 10 to 19.1. We'll have a ride on board with Pepsi Gamer then as he comes into the pits then. So didn't take advantage of that virtual safety car, and neither did Jaw then as they head into the pits. So they were happy to get their tyres on for a little bit longer, but that was only 1 or 2 laps. Would it have been worth to come in under the virtual safety car, I wonder? In comes Jaw then, spotting a set of soft tyres. Pepsi Gamer's also in, and on go a set of soft tyres for him. So they're both going to the end of the race, and well, they're going to make their way out onto the track then. TK then, the Haas is here. Actually, there's 2 Haases. I missed that. 2 Haases are still running around. So we do have. There we go then. Jaw and TK still running in this race then. So it's only Mercedes and Haas now that have two cars running in this very bizarre race. I wonder if there's going to be team orders here. Jaw, who's just rejoined, but TK's on 5-lap-old softs. Could be a little bit of team orders, but they're both seemingly going to the end of the race, so there's no need for them.
Yeah, I think they'll be free to fight, and 5th and 6th. So if they can bring it home from here, be good for their constructors. They're down in 8th at the moment with 7 points on the board, so they would climb up the board a bit if they can bring it home. But I think we're going to see them fighting, and Jaw, we know, in that 3rd spot for a long time, so he'll be determined to defend from his teammate, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see then how everything pans out, because at the moment it's been keeping us guessing every single second of this race. Heskey Time meanwhile is trying to close the gap on Farth, and Farth has been coming under some scrutiny in previous races, currently running in P8 with the Red Bull of Heskey Time running in P9 as we head down towards turn 15, taking that curb there. And Heskey Time looks like he's going to try and set himself up for a move down the long straight here. Well, straight that's not really a straight, but it's full throttle all the way. So he will get a little bit of dirty air. Will Heskey Time, as he makes his way through turn 19 and then through that slight kink of turn 20. And you can see that gap is closing.
It is closing. Will he have enough? His DRS is now activated as well, so he'll tackle that slipstream. He'll be thinking, which way do I go? Do I go left? Do I go right? Fast stays in the middle, then just to the braking line, normal racing line. So Heskey Time brakes on the inside and tries to get it stopped, but as we said before, Fast able to carry the speed around the outside. Will Heskey Time have nothing to hit? No, he can't, but it's single file. So Fast defends for now. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, Heskey Time slightly touched the wall there on the outside of the exit of turn 2, so doesn't look like there's any damage to his car, but you have to take it easy then as we head towards the halfway point in this race then. Chopper still leads, the gap is 17.5 seconds, and we're watching the closest battle out on track right now is between Mercedes of Farth and Red Bull of Heskey Time.
Yeah, Heskey Time getting it locked up a few times, so he's obviously pushing hard in those braking zones, but he doesn't want to be having too many lockups. For one, he'll damage the tyres, and 2, he risks understeering into the wall as well. So he's determined to get by fast, but he doesn't want to put everything on the line just yet. The chance will come if he can keep close, as you say, to that turn 19 and onto the straight. I think the opportunity will be there for him.
Yeah, as we now head through this S section, as Heskey Time again taps the wall then, as we head down towards turn 15. He's got to be careful, keep it out of the walls there. He's got a good chance of scoring points. And as we head now down towards turn 16, chuck the car in and hope it sticks. As we now go through 17, 18, 19 and 20 full throttle. And let's have a look. Bottom right hand corner, you can see, yep, you can see that Heskey Time was full throttle all the way through. And here we go then, Heskey Time has a chance here, side by side. Then as they head down the main straight, the DRS opens here. We could see Heskey Time, even with the DRS, doesn't get that much kph difference then as we head down towards turn 1. And Heskey Time trying to close the door on the Mercedes of Farth, but a lot of respect between them though, because Heskey Time left a big amount of space there going into turn 1, and Farth holds on then as Heskey Time loses that back in slightly on the exit of turn 2. That's going to cost him. He still will have DRS down this straight as well, but as we now head towards turn 3, that would have been a good overtaking opportunity as well, but he couldn't quite take advantage of it.
Yeah, you can see Farth was just 10 metres or so later on the brakes than Heskey Time, more confident around that outside line, but I guess Heskey is aware that he doesn't want to understeer into the side of Farth as well, so give each other respect in that turn 1, and perhaps Heskey Time will have to rethink it. He's had a couple of goes in it now, and try and make his way on over to the right hand side of the circuit if he can, and try and carry that perhaps quicker outside line, as we've seen Farth do now a couple of times.
Absolutely, look how close he's getting to that rear wing there. Is Heskey Time willing to follow in that dirty air as Farth runs a little bit wide on the exit of turn 12 as we now head towards turn 13 and then 14 on our way down to the break so to turn 15. Not really an overtaking opportunity this one, and Heskey Time knows that, but tries to take the curb there, and I don't know if there was a little bit of contact between the two there as Farth was willing to take that corner a little bit slower than Heskey Time. But Heskey will be trying to set up the exit of turn 16 as his journey through these S's here continues, and his journey to try and get past Farth reaches another lap here. He'll once again try down the left hand side, but he seems to be carrying a little bit more speed then as Pepsi Gamer has found a way past TK, and Heskey Time gets ahead of Farth. Farth tries to tuck back into the slipstream, but he can't quite do it, and Heskey Time locks up going into turn 1. It's not over yet. Farth then swoops around to the left hand side and takes that position back once again. There's a little bit of contact between the two of them as Heskey Time misjudged his braking point there, but well, Farth back in front. Heskey Time's not done there as he'll use the DRS once again to draw down the inside to the left hand side, but backs out of it then, and Heskey Time looked like he had the move done there, but pulled a Sebastian Vettel after the safety car and locked up going into turn 1.
He did, just misjudged it, carrying a bit more speed perhaps than he thought, or perhaps he was thinking that Farth might come back for him, so he's trying to brake as late as he possibly could, but the job was done if he hadn't locked up, and he finds himself back behind Farth again, and how many more chances will he have at this? He will be hurting those super soft tyres quite a bit by now.
Absolutely. The other battle going on here is Pepsi Gamer and TK. Pepsi Gamer 7/10 ahead at the moment, but Pepsi Gamer had got ahead of TK as we saw going in there, and a little bit of a lock-up then from Pepsi Gamer, looking to score his first points of the season in one of the most hectic races of the season, that's for sure. And we head through turn 16. You can see then he's currently splitting the Haas's then as we head through 18 and 19, then going through turn 20. And we'll see now if we can open that DRS and try and close in on the Haas of Jaw then. We're watching this battle and the battle between Farth and Heskey Time. You can see he was closing in a little bit more on the cinematic camera then, but that just must have been the field of view taking full effect then. But the McLaren driver just couldn't make enough of an inroad then to close in on the Haas then, but he does have the pace. Yeah, so he does have the pace, and Heskey Time not managing to get the job done either, and suffering from a little bit of wheel spin as well, so I think he might be having some temperature issues now with those super softs. He's been pushing hard, so yeah, will either of these guys be able to get the job done? TK, Pepsi Gamer and Jaw all close together on circuit, so I think we will see some moves between those guys with two cars in front of you as well. If TK can get into that slipstream zone, you can get a massive overspeed on the cars around you with a double slipstream effect. Absolutely. There is Heskey Time making the move on Farth. At last, he says. He's up into P8 then, and making his way down towards turn 7, I should say. A little bit of a lock-up there. He's got to get rid of those lock-ups out of his racing here. We've got yellow flags in Sector 1, and Chopper's out of the race. Well, Chopper, who was, well, take it or leave it, he was leading the race. Yeah. the problem has resolved itself then as Reflow is heading down towards turn 3. Now what's happened here then? We saw the yellow flags coming in, and Chopper's lost it again. Same place as Matt FNG did a couple of laps ago, so he must have just hit the curb there and just gone straight to the scene of the accident. So Reflow then takes the lead back. But I think he had that lead in the first place, Johnny. That's a very bizarre thing to say. As Pepsi Gamer here, down the main straight then, has found a way past Jaw, and Pepsi Gamer moves up into P4, which will become P3 now, with Chopper's retirement.
Bart's got a big overspeed here on Heskey time, and it looks like he's going to get the repass done pretty easily here. He's just cruised by on the straight. So perhaps a little bit less wing on the back of that Mercedes there, because we said before, Heskey time not having much overspeed when he had DRS, but when the situation was reversed, Bart just cruising straight by. The Heskey time will look to come back here. Fast defends, so Heskey time's had to go to the outside at this tricky turn 3 that's playing several drivers already. Heskey time tried to turn in, but the space was not there, and he makes contact with the wall, and that is wing damage, I think, on the Red Bull.
Yeah, there looked like a little bit of contact there between Farth and Heskey time. But whatever it was then, Heskey time finds himself into the wall. But front wing gone, not front wheel. That's the most important thing. So although Heskey might be a little bit mad about that one, he's still got all 4 wheels attached to his car. So he's still got a good chance of getting some points here.
He has. Unfortunately, it's robbed us of that battle for now, but yeah, I think he tried to turn in there on the outside of turn 3, but Farth must have had the nose of his car there, and there was a little bit of contact, as you say, that pushed Heskey time into the wall, and yeah, he suffered that wing damage, so he's got to bring it back again for another front wing, keeping those Red Bull boys busy. But Draw and TK still within in reach of each other. And Pepsi Gamer now into P3, so he's in the provisional podium position at the moment.
Yeah, and if you're Pepsi Gamer right now, I don't know what your heart rate is right now. Possibly at least 300 beats per minute, surely. But yeah, at the moment, looking like he's going to score his first points of the season with a podium, and what a way to do it in a race that has been hectic from start to finish. It certainly had its fair share of drama, a lead change for bizarre reasons, that's for sure. But Reflow finds himself back at the head of the field on lap number 18. Samster in second then, and we haven't seen much of these two actually in the race, Reflow and Samster. Obviously Samster 16 seconds back, and it's just pretty much showing how Reflow, since the start of the race, he's been, well, if you look at it this way, he has been leading from start to now, so 16.5 seconds at the moment, and could look for his 3rd win out of 4 this season.
Yeah, it's been a dominant performance so far. But Sam, you know, he was aggressive at the start, got into P2 provisionally, then dropped back down, I think, to P4 or 5 after a bit of contact. So had a bit of luck on his side, Sam, that he came out of that contact in one piece, as many others didn't. But I think, honestly, P2 is 16 seconds back. He's just going to be trying to bring that Ferrari home, I think, from here. I think both of those guys will be more than happy to finish where they are.
Absolutely, with 8 laps to go then, I believe that is. We still have Reflow leading the way. Samster second, Pepsi Gamer in 3rd place. He's currently 46 seconds back from the race leader. Jaw is in 4th place then. TK is in 5th, so this will be a good point scoring race for Haas if they can finish like this. White Fountain in 6th. Farth is in 7th, Lukey in 8th. We haven't seen much of him this race, but he's done a good job so far of recovering from his 5th place grid penalty. Heskey time then in 9th, and the last of the runners so far. Yeah,
and the Haas boys there in 4th and 5th, but White Fountain is putting the pressure on. Less than the second back now, so he could well spoil the party here for the Haas drivers if he can get in amongst them. He'll definitely be looking to challenge TK if he can. He's on the super soft tyre as well, so can he make it work and break into the top 5 himself?
So he is half a second back, White Fountain, from TK as we watched him going through turn 7 and towards that infamous castle section, which has caught at least one driver out today, as it always seems to do. And there is that infamous castle there on that right hand side of your screen. You can see now White Fountain has really closed up on TK then, as we now head through turn 14 or turn 13, then through turn 14 in towards the braking zone of turn 15. You can see there White Fountain biding his time. A little bit of a lock up there as he reacted to TK slowing down there. And now we head towards turn 16. Chuck the car in. You can see there he's getting a wider exit. A little bit of a wheel spin on the exit of turn 16, but that doesn't seem to have affected him too much then as he makes his way through turn 18 or 19, sorry, and then through turn 20. Now we get into the slipstream as we head towards the DRS zone. This looks like it's going to be an easy move for White Fountain. Look at that KPH now, almost up to 350 then as we head down towards turn 1. White Fountain comes across to take the racing line, and he's up into P5 then.
Yeah, job done, and he'll now have a draw in his sights as well. Of course, we know White Fountain, good pace. I think he qualified third, so we know he can put that car around this track, and I think he will close the gap down to draw, and he looks to have good straight line speed there as well. So it could be a pretty decent recovery from White Fountain here if he can make this work now in the final 2 laps.
Absolutely. 7 laps to go then in this bizarre Baku Grand Prix, and White Fountain, as you say, has a chance of grabbing a podium, but he's got to get past Jaw first, the other Haas. He has that good straight line speed, especially with that DRS, as you were saying there, Jono, as we now head through turn 8 for these guys, the 20th time. As Reflow starts the 21st lap, that means there are 6 laps to go in this race. 6 laps to go here in Baku. It's definitely provided a drama up and down the field, definitely with that lead change we had early on, but the problem, as you said, Jono, seemed to resolve itself.
It did, Chopper there. Thank you for sorting out that issue for us. As Jaw runs a bit deep into turn 16, so White Fountain is going to be set up, I think, better than last time. He's going to keep on the gearbox to Jaw as they come through that tricky turn 19, and now they decide which way to go. Jaw's going to move to the left, so it looks like White Fountain will have to go the long way round. He certainly does attempt to. DRS wide open then, so will he have the speed to get clearly through? And he does, and Jaw is pretty happy just to settle in behind, I think. White Fountain job done up to P4.
Yeah, White Fountain now. The next target is Pepsi Gamer, 3.2 behind. So he's got a good chance here of catching him. Farth then is into the pits from P7, and this is possibly to make sure he can get tyres to the end. He's got to serve a 5-second stop-go penalty that he picked up earlier on in the race before the team could work on the car. They're going to put on a set of ultra soft tyres, and away he goes. So looking now for the fastest lap of the race, surely.
Yeah, I think he's going to be going for that with those ultras on. He's going to be by far the quickest driver on the circuit, I would think, as he rejoins. So he's in 9th, but he's got Heskey time in his sights, and he should be easy pickings with the tyre advantage he's got there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, he has rejoined in P9, 1.5 seconds behind Heskey time, and well, we're looking at the battles then. All the cars seem to be a little bit spread out at the moment, but we have got 5 laps to go, so expect the gap between Pepsi Gamer and White Fountain to close up then. White Fountain is really closing in on Pepsi Gamer here. White Fountain could take away this podium from Pepsi Gamer then. Pepsi, who hasn't scored a point so far this season. We were talking about how much would that affect you on your mentality coming into this race. So far for Pepsi Gamer, or at least in the race, doesn't seem to have affected him at all, Jono. 2.4 the gap, and you can see here White Fountain maybe doesn't have the straight line speed on the car, but certainly with the DRS he's able to make those moves look very easy. 2.6 the gap as we head onto the 22nd lap of this race.
Yeah, and we might see just how much Pepsi Gamer wants to finish when and if White Fountain closes onto him, how hard he possibly tries to defend. But as you say, White Fountain does look to have decent top speed this weekend at least, and has got the job done pretty well so far. It's Heskey time.
Yeah, Heskey time.
As DNF
retires coming out of turn 19. Just took too much speed in. Yeah, down to 8 runners in this race then. So Heskey time out of this race then. That puts Farth up to P8. Bit of clear air ahead of him. He can now definitely challenge for that fastest lap of the race then. He's only got 35% charge in that battery there of his, but he'll want to get that fastest lap and get at least something out of this race. If he finishes now, obviously he'll get those vital 4 points, I believe that is, for an 8th place finish, which will help Mercedes because it will be more than Ferrari will score in this race, that's for sure.
Yeah, it will. And how the tables have turned early on, looked like Ferrari might well have an advantage here.
Safety car, Jono.
Oh.
A very late safety car. Now that's probably to do with Heskey Time's retirement there and where the car actually was. But this has changed everything. Surely we're going to see runners come onto the ultra soft tyres for a last few laps dash. But I wonder how many laps they're going to give us. Yeah, I reckon there's going to be about 2 laps, surely. 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah, I think probably 2 laps is all we're going to be looking at here. And this is Reflow's worst nightmare here for sure. So we'll keep an eye on those guys as well and see if they do decide to pit. But yeah, worst nightmare for Reflow, but Sam will be licking his lips. This is going to be a chance on the restart to go for the win.
There's the safety car parked right to the side there. It's got to wait a long time to pick up Reflow. So he'll start lap 24 behind the safety car. And Reflow's got a drive-through penalty. Reflow with a drive-through. Now, has he thrown away a race win here? He can't serve that drive-through under the safety car. He has to serve it in the race. Now, I don't know if the game will allow him to take that as a 15 or 20-second penalty. It's normally a 30-second penalty if it's towards the last 5 laps of the race. But I don't know if the game will take that into account. So Reflow here may have just thrown away the lead and the win here at Baku.
He will be absolutely fuming. He'll be gutted about that, as he is going to enter the pits by the look of it. So he is going to fall on that set of ultras. But yeah, surely that's the race win gone, and he'll be absolutely gutted. I've done it myself at Spa in the past, and I was absolutely fuming myself. So easy to do as well. But the race leader, we mentioned before they started that a safety car could be the curse for him, and it looks like we may well be proven right here. Sam decides to continue on though, however, he has not pitted.
Yeah, I think he might have just received over the radio that Reflow has a drive-through penalty, so for him he's thinking there's no real point to pit in. So he stayed out on those soft tyres. Reflow will obviously get picked up by the safety car now, and well, we have 3 laps to go. And I don't know if this is going to be the one and only safety car lap. I wonder how long the virtual Bert Mailander is going to stay out there, Jono.
Yeah, absolutely. He's decided to wake up and grace the circuit for the last couple of laps, but it looks like we might only get perhaps even 1 lap here. As Pepsi Gamer has continued on as well, and so is White Fountain. Jaw, however, does pit for some fresh rubber, so he's going to go on the attack at the end. But yeah, Sam, Pepsi, and the others all staying out.
Absolutely. We'll have a look at TK though. TK will stay out. Obviously, he's already pitted for his ultra soft tyres, and he will rejoin in front of Jaw then. So he'll take 5th place away. So obviously, this will bunch up the field as much as possible here for a last dash to the finish line. And well, Reflow, will he serve his drive-through then? I wonder. Or will he try and go to the end and add that on as time to the end of the race? But it's quicker to serve a drive-through penalty than it is to serve a penalty of any sort at the end.
Either way, if the field bunches on the safety car, I think Reflow is going to find himself absolutely at the back here come the end of this, as the lights are still on the safety car. So he's going to go around for lap 25. No, they've just gone out. So we are going to have 2 laps of racing then, and Reflow will be getting things lined up and backing the pack up a bit for the restart.
Absolutely. Well, he's got that ERS battery up to max there, and Pepsi Gamer hasn't quite caught up. He might catch them up just as the safety car comes in. You can see Reflow's not waiting around. Look at this, he's so close behind the safety car still. This is normally when you try and slow it down and try and bunch up the pack and get ready to go, but no, Reflow's absolutely going for it right now. Pretty much at the same speed as the safety car. As the safety car pulls in, and we can't go until the safety car's been... Yeah, so now it's gone green. So Reflow's caught himself out here. We're going to have 4 cars going into turn 1 here. And Reflow's just about held it. But Samster runs wide. Pepsi Gamer gets collected. And White Fountain, of all people, takes 2nd place away from Samster. Absolutely incredible.
That was incredible stuff. Pepsi Gamer attempted to go on the outside of everybody, nearly got the job done, but didn't quite work out, and Sam got a bit tangled up with that as well. And White Fountain now has put himself in P2, and if Reflow has a penalty to serve, White Fountain could well be on for the win here.
Absolutely, and Samster will be absolutely furious. Of course, White Fountain on fresher, super soft tyres. I bet Samster right now is regretting staying out on those soft tyres. But he may have been looking at the gap behind. He had the gap to do it, though. That's the thing. He had the gap. It was over 30 seconds to him and Pepsi Gamer. So he'll be absolutely kicking himself after that one. But White Fountain, though, finds himself in P2. And Pepsi Gamer here could be looking at a podium here if he can play his cards right. Because Samster on those soft tyres looks like he's lost the pace.
It does look like he's lost the pace. He's got the Pepsi Gamer all over the back of him. And as you say, you know, he had the gap by the look of it to pit for fresh rubber and go again. If he'd have done that, you'd have to put him as favourite for the race. He didn't. And now he's fallen into clutches. There's Jaw DNS.
Jaw DNS, I think this is at the castle section. Let's have a look as we ride on board with Farth. And can we see a stricken car with his yellow flags as we head towards the castle section? And that's exactly what's happened then. Jaw is out. And we're now down to 7 runners in this Grand Prix. 7.
But wow, I've never known a race with this much attrition. But what a shame for Jaw. He's had a great race up until then. He gambled on pit for fresh tyres, was obviously pushing hard, and it's backfired on him. But we go on to the final lap then, as Reflow also sets the fastest lap of the race. So Reflow is going to finish the race without taking a drive-through penalty by the look of it.
Yeah, and I wonder how much time there's going to be added on to the end of his race. White Fountain there is in second place right now. Samster in P3 with Pepsi Gamer P4. TK in 5th. Farth is in 6th and Lukey is in P7. And as fact I said before there, Jono, now Mercedes are the only constructor that have 2 cars running in this race.
They are. There's still time yet for that to change and even. So yeah, who knows? And all these runners, of course, who are left running have all moved up from their grid positions. And Farth, the biggest gainer, up to P6, and Pepsi Gamer, if he can hang on to this, not only will he get his first points of the season, but if Reflow does have the penalties, we think he has, he could well end up on the podium as well.
Absolutely. Well, Reflow will come through then towards turn 13, then through turn 14. Tap the wall there on the right-hand side. Now, what he doesn't want to do at this point is DNF. Here he goes then through turn 15. Down the hill he goes towards turn 16. And the moment of truth then, as he'll cross the sector 3 line. The game hasn't disqualified him, so it looks like he's going to let him finish here. As we now head through the S section, this high-speed S section here. Reflow then, I don't know what's going to happen here as he'll cross the line. He'll come towards the line, and if he does have that drive-through, he'll have blown what was a perfectly good result and a perfectly good win. He's going to come into the pits now. He's going to do a Schumacher. He's going to do a Schumacher and come into the pits now. And he'll cross the line. No, he's got that 20 seconds. So White Fountain takes the win here at Baku. What a result for the Sauber team. Samster will be absolutely kicking himself there. He finishes in P2 and Pepsi Gamer grabs that final podium spot. Then Reflow tried the Schumacher. It didn't work. And then he got 20 seconds added on, so he still had to brake towards the line, which may have cost him a bit of a podium there. And it did. 8 tenths separated himself from TK there. So valuable points lost there for Reflow, as Farth there will cross the line in P6 as he heads towards the line now and gets himself up to P3. It says on the telemetry there, well, P3, what? Okay.
Reflow dropping down the field, so Reflow 7th there at the end. So he's the last of the runners, according to that.
Well, that is it's one of the most bizarre races I've ever seen, Jono, that's for sure. And White Fountain takes his first race win of the season in bizarre circumstances, but he'll be absolutely beside himself.
Yeah, we're absolutely delighted. We asked for pre-race predictions. I don't think, no disrespect to White Fountain, but dominated by Reflow so far. But he's managed to grab the victory there. Safety car worked perfectly for him. He had good pace as well, and takes his first victory of the season for Cyber. Incredible drive, an incredible, absolutely crazy race.
Absolutely. Well, White Fountain takes his first race win of the season. Samster in 2nd, Pepsi Gamer 3rd, TK 4th, Farth was in 5th, Lukey 6th, as Reflow there finished last of the runners. He actually got 2 penalties there. Let me have a look at that one. I wonder if he got 2 unserved stop goes or unserved drive-throughs, and he did. So he might be going to the stewards there to appeal that second 20-second penalty, but at the moment those are your unofficial results, and without that 20-second penalty, that second one anyway, that would put reflow into 5th place, I think that is. But I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. It's been a very bizarre race. Chopper was leading this race at one point and he left the session, so I mean, I have no idea where to even start with that race. A very late safety car, and you have to say, Jono, it was a race there that Reflow threw away.
Yeah, it was just craziness. Apart from Reflow at the front, who appeared to have it all under control until that safety car came out. Obviously, just speeding and threw the race away. You have to say. Not sure about that second penalty he got, but either way, race win, trucked away, and he'll be absolutely furious. But one thing for sure, we won't see a race like that again for a very long time.
That's the magic of Baku. Well, if you want to be part of the F1 TS Hub family and you want to race, you can absolutely do so. Head to f1tshub.com and follow the instructions on how to join a league. You can also follow F1 TS Hub on Twitter. It's at F1 TS Hub. So we'll hope to see you there. And of course, I believe when we started the stream, we had 199 subscribers. Go on, be our 200th. Go on. You know you want to. 200 subscriber to the YouTube channel. It's there waiting for you. But Jono, I'm speechless. I'm not normally speechless after a race, but what can I say?
Yeah, it is difficult to know what to say after that one, but you just have to congratulate White Fountain on the win and Pepsi Gamer as well on the podium and his first points of the season. So he's delivered on what he wanted. And just nuts race from start to finish. And just to top it off, we have now got 200 subscribers by the look of it. So we've reached that milestone on the channel. Congratulations.
Well done, everyone. Well, Jono, unfortunately, I'm not going to be here for Spain. Because from now I'm on holiday. What a race to bow out on before my holiday starts, eh?
Yeah, we've left you all F1'd out now for your break.
Absolutely, I needed it. That's what I needed to help me through this this barren patch. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching along with the stream. 7 finishes. I don't think you'll ever see a race like that ever again. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's stream. And go ahead now, watch the Prestige tier, see how many finished there. Head over there now. I think they're just about to start their race very, very shortly. If you're leaving us now, thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you again next time. I've been Kieran McGinley.
And I've been John Worth.
Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.